Well, we're live, I suppose. Let me actually have a good old listen. Just technical check-in. Oh, Hey, Bimo, what are you doing? I was wondering if anyone would be awake right now. Am I audible? Actually, let me check if I can be heard. I didn't think anyone would actually be awake. Yeah, seems like my audio is not working. Yeah. Or my headset is also dying. Oh, it is working? Okay, but my headset's not working. Okay, that's not going to be good. I'm going to have to use my huge cans, boys. Let's check this out. Hold on, let's get the cans out. Hey, Ronnie. Good to see you. Happy New Year as well. Let's just see if I can... Where is the dongle, boy? Well, that doesn't help us, does it? Let's see. Oh, God, I can't. I need to plug this in for power. It's see this thing is red. This thing over here is red. Yeah, shit's not going well. Let's check here. Also, that's a very nice picture of you on the thumbnail. Very distinguished. Yes, very distinguished. What a beautiful girl. What's the name? That's what happens when I put on makeup. To cover up my spots. But thank you. I'm glad that you like it. I'm learning to look at the right camera. Ain't a kiddie stream without scuff. Exactly. That's what the first 10 minutes at least have to be. Big cans and dongles. What a dashing lass. Oh, that's a great one. I should have said that. That's a good one. Oh, such a dashing lass. Just hold on. Okay, let's see if this works. Line out. Okay. Let's see if I start hearing myself now. Hello? Let's see. Testing your speakers in StreamYard. Sounds like they're working. That's the usual thing, right? Oh, you know what? I gotta press this. Oh, for flip's sake. Let me see if I can find the document. Because I am going to need, like, as much as you guys can hear me, I need to hear the video, boys. So this does not help. No, I'm not a person that listens to myself. I've got to listen to the video. I only do monitoring sometimes. There we go. Okay, it's just that they're flat. Peace, Bimo. The audio clunky as fuck. Is it? Thank you. Please tell me. Anyway, I want to wish you well. It's past midnight here and I gotta be up in 5 hours. Have a great stream. Thank you, Bimo. Does this big horizontal part distribute the weight in a satisfactory? Doesn't it feel great? Okay, hold on. I need to put this in. I need to put it in. Okay. Is it really better? Is it really better? Was it because I was far away from the mic? Hold on. Wires everywhere. Okay. Let's do this again. Testing your speakers and StreamYards. Sounds like they're working. They should let everybody hear that. Have a great show. Anyway, anyone who is around now, it is bitter with your Afrikaans. Oh yeah, first of all, the distribution just makes you feel the wide open space. I farted on stream and nobody heard it. Stop knocking the fucking microphone, Shinsia. Jesus. No doubt treatment to my awesome. Yes, definitely. Can you recommend that? That would be a great thing. Fart-free audio. Let's get to the diagramming. Okay, so just actually here is the video that I'm doing. Welcome, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being awake, because I didn't know anyone would really be around. But it's nice to catch some of you, at least. And also Sneem, good to see you over on Twitch. And I don't listen to myself. It's fine. But I'm going to have to listen to myself now. Interesting. It's not playing here. I can't hear my live stream. Interesting. Interesting. It's not muted. Oh, you know what? It's probably my desktop audio. Hold up. That's what's happening. Yeah, that's why. God damn it. Ta-da! Okay. Cool. I'm on your time, basically. I go to bed around 8 p.m. your time. Okay. When you're on very important question, when am I going to be on Circle of Jokes? When I am not hungover on a Sunday morning. That's when. So next, probably this weekend. No, probably not this weekend. But yeah, this past weekend it was a very bad one. So I couldn't be there. I woke up much. Oh, so never. No, I'm gonna be good. There was just a lot of wine involved last week Saturday, so I feel like I've only woken up from that now. Anyway, so let's get onto what the whole reason of today is about. And yes, just thanks for all the feedback about my current layout. I appreciate that. But yes, what I'm doing for this stream and the reason I wanted to do it is I was doing this anyway. So I was like, probably nobody's going to watch it, but just do it anyway. Just be there so people know what you're doing, right? I'm doing stuff, and this is a thing. The layout is beautiful. Well, thank you. Sneem. I didn't make it up. Sneem did say that. So I am going to get, what's the name? The reason I'm doing this diagram is actually so that I can go and do this in my life. I watched this video several times and I kept going, cool, I want to do this. But I kept going, no, I need to take study notes so that I could do this properly. That's basically what we're doing here. We are doing study notes. We're doing a diagram so that I can brainwash myself. Okay. So let's see how this is going to go. And maybe you guys can see how you're going to brainwash yourself too. So let's do, because I mean, you know me. I don't get things done. Let's see if we can brainwash me to get stuff done. All right. Okay, yeah, now the layout's a bit weird. Oh, also, I realized that I haven't changed the date up here. I think that was chewed by something. Okay. Am I going unwittingly complicit in a crime? No, you're not. You're not going to be complicit in a crime. This is all... What the fuck is this? My webcam... I did not configure my webcam with this layout in mind. Okay, I think we're good. Is self-brainwashing similar to self-hypnosis? Well, let's see if we can figure it out. This video is by Chase Hughes, and he's from the behavior panel. So I'm quite used to his content and quite taken with his content, actually. And so yeah, he's very fascinating by neurochemistry, neurohypnosis thing. He's got this huge, you can see there on the bottom here, it says NCI. Like that's his new sort of thing. He's creating like a textbook, which I eventually will get. But hey, let's see what he's got to tell us. Let's go back to the video. Oh, look at you. What are you doing online? You're supposed to be working. Okay, so you're reserving judgment for 2 minutes. Well, that's good. Okay, let's see if you guys can hear. Okay, let's go. The intro. This will give you an idea of what he's trying to do.
Every goal-setting system you've ever learned is broken. I'm a leading expert in behavior, and I'm going to show you how to reprogram your mind to finally get what you want. So let's be honest. Most people suck at setting goals, and it's not your fault. The entire system that you've been taught about goal setting, it's broken. And it's broken because it doesn't use the part of your brain that literally makes all of the decisions and runs your entire life. The limbic system and our brain system. This is the neurocognitive intelligence, or NCI, goal setting system.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Neurocognitive intelligence. That's his new thing. And obviously this is part of his book that that's come out, whatever. I've got I still haven't finished the Ellipsis Manual by Chase Hughes. Gordon, king at persuading. Yeah, well, he is my social influence, actually. So if you look at this video, there's things that you can, there's people that you can enlist to help socially pressure you into achieving what you want to achieve. So let's see what this is his. So he's saying your goals, those achievable, what was it? The goals have to be what? SMART goals. It was like simple, I don't know, simple, measurable, I think it was achievable. Let's see, SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Remember that was basically the all school school stuff. You would learn SMART goals. That was one of the things we did in life in orientation. Dude introduced the limbic system. Let him cook for a minute. This could go either way. Okay, let's see. Okay, and also just remember, Chase used to be a pickup artist, man. He knows how to manipulate people.
Let me show you why this is the most powerful thing.
That's not his highest credential, bro. He's like a military dude.
That you're going to ever do to reach your goals. Step 1, describe the ideal and perfect outcome.
Okay, step 1. Guys, you see, he describes it perfectly fine. There's no need for a diagram here. But for me, I watch this video and then I lose track. So I want this. So it's what it is NCR goal system. And this is probably diagrammed in his book, but if you see the size of that book, you will understand why it's a bit intimidating. Okay, NCR goal system. Okay, let's go. Step 1. Describe ideal outcome. Okay. I'll actually go step 1, ideal outcome. Okay. No, you have to have the describe. And now he goes into the thing. The thing is this a new mic? Yes. Am I just off mic? I'm sorry. If it's sorry if it's bad. It is a new mic. It's a new system thingy. yeah, it just that it might be sensitive to me moving away from it, so I don't know what's up. Yes, put it on in the background. I will just be your co-worker. Okay. No, I'm hearing wonderful keyboard sounds. Oh, okay, that's good. So yeah, he goes in and one of the things that I remember is that he goes that you have to do this in detail. Okay. And I've been thinking about all the things that I want to add into this, but I haven't actually done it. So that's the thing. I was gonna make this diagram and then go and do this writing exercise where I would go and describe everything and whatever. But I want to go through this whole video to see what I'm supposed to be doing. You see his whole list there? And also, I don't appreciate the Roman numerals, okay? I just don't. So, feedback.
With vivid details
Vivid
and
details.
measurable elements that allow you to know when you have arrived. So,
okay, vivid details. He does say, okay, so remember, measurable was part of SMART goals, but this is like the details. The details have to be things that you will then pick up when it happens. So if you describe it as an ideal, then you'll be able to pick it up in reality. That's why you're doing it, so that you can recognize I have arrived. You have to like you are basically setting the finish line, but it has to be demarked really, really vividly. So vivid details, and he goes measurable. Let's just go back a sec.
So this and measurable elements that allow you to know when you have arrived. So
that allow you to know when you've arrived. Okay, measurable elements. I like that idea. I like it because it's just okay. I need to know when stuff is, when I'm done, and it's not when this number hits here. It's okay, fine. That can be a measurable thing, but it's like you have a day where you're this. You have a feeling I'm thinking of all different types of things. Vivid is a vague word. One person is vivid as another person's rough. That's true. As vivid as it can be for you. That's what I'm getting from it. Is because everybody is capable of different kinds of visualization at different levels, but the most intense that you can manage, I think that would be the thing you should be going for, because it's your brain. So whatever is vivid to you, go that far. Measurable elements that will show you arrived. Okay, so that's important for your rewards. I would say your reward feedback sort of loop thing, because it's like, okay, I'm going to get to. You keep going. Oh yeah, cool. Here's my goal. I'm gonna get there. And then you actually don't recognize when you get there, and you're always just going for the next thing. You never actually feel fulfilled. So I understand what he means. Let's see what goes on.
So this is like plotting a desired arrival point on a GPS. It's the address. It is the latitude and longitude of your destination. Then we move over to the right here, right?
Okay, so latitude and longitude. So this is I think this is the whole thing, but then he goes into more detail about it. But okay, it's your latitude and longitude of where you're gonna go. I'll just put the keyword GPS coordinates. Okay, step 2. Describe the least desired outcome. This is, see, that isn't in SMART goals, right? They don't go, you don't do the fear mapping part of it, where it's like, okay, this is what happens. Self-idealization is not measurable, particularly in this space. This is going in a bad direction. Maybe the kitty insert throwing me off though. Yeah, it might be me. Can't, yeah, listen. So so you've got self-idealization, right? You've got that there. Look at this here. Describe the least desired. Least desired outcome. Don't worry, we're not going to be too positive here. Oh, let's put describe. See, this is another thing. Describe. It's not like list. He says describe it in like what happens if you stay doing what you're doing is one of the things he says. in so many words. Describe least desired outcome. Okay, what are his notes on that?
Write out your least desired outcome if nothing changes. If you just keep doing exactly what you've been doing all along. So
nothing. If nothing changes, what happens if nothing changes? So like what I've been going through in my mind is like, okay, well, like I would be, I think of that if nothing changes. So then I'll be, say, eating junk food or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, like this is what I've been for the past 3 weeks after watching this video. Being like, oh, this is what he means. He means if I continue doing this, I haven't changed this. Oh, what eventually happens to me is, yeah, I do put on the weight. I do just become unhealthy. I do get higher cholesterol. I do all of this. So that's part of the describing the least desired outcome. So you actually kind of are hacking into that fear system. Worst case is stagnation. This is a basic default. I may need to have words with Gordon if this continues. What? Yeah, but that's where I'm at, actually. You're so right, Ship. I'm at stagnation. And that is, look, it's better. I suppose it's better than complete, huge, and utter decline. But this is just, stagnation is just slower decline. It's not good. You need to balance your stabilizers. The space bar is off. Okay. Audio keyboard file. Okay. Let's go.
So we're going to describe in very vivid detail where you're going to arrive if you continue with your current habits, your behaviors, mindsets, and worldview. So,
and I'm good at this. Don't worry. I'll have so much to say about my negative, the worst outcome. What if happens? What if nothing happens? What nothing changes? Again, vivid. Make it vivid. Nothing changes. Same behaviors. Same mindsets. Same. So I think I'm going to actually do that when I'm writing it, is also just like instances in my life that I'm going to describe those instances where I stagnate. The big ship, he's the biggest ship there is. Okay. Same behaviors, same mindset, same. What was it? Same outcomes. Have words with Gordon. He knows that Gordon's my my north. What's my North Star? Gordon is my anchor. So he needs to speak to Gordon to make sure that I improve myself.
So imagine 2025. If you don't change a thing.
I like that idea. Just if you don't change a thing.
Harsh? Yes. Necessary? Absolutely. So write it out. Your brain needs contrast. The dream versus the
music is so epic. Whoa, your brain needs contrast. I think what I'll do is put a note in then. Giving your brain. I like understanding what I'm doing with this. That's why I'm making this note. Giving your brain contrast. Okay. What's that? Continue.
Nightmare. And this is where your mind starts to crave the ideal, because staying the same becomes unbearable.
Okay, so you're trying to basically, you're trying to I actually got to make a relationship, not a note. I'll do this. Or you know what? Summary. Not a summary, a boundary with this. Okay, and here the note is brain needs contrast. Okay, and can I add to this? Oh. Okay, making the, what's staying the same? Unbearable. Making staying the same, unbearable, causing the brain bearable. You know what's unbearable? Bad spelling. And make staying the same unbearable. Make make your brain crave. Crave? Was it crave the ideal? Craving is powerful. Imagine just having a craving to be great.
Next, the I nightmare. And this is where your mind starts to crave the ideal because staying the same becomes unbearable. Next, we're going to write down milestones.
Okay, hold up. You see, this is what happens with my brain. I'm like, cool. I'm like understanding why I like these little notes that he's given us. Like, yes, of course. Very good. And then forget what's happening next. Okay. Make staying the same unbearable. Then next, what are we doing? Third, write down milestones. Okay, now again, I'm also writing here. 3. Write down, because you have to actually write them. Milestones. Okay, so this is not the same as what he says, describe the ideal outcome. It's not exactly the same. Because with describe the ideal outcome, it's like, look what your life will be like if you do what you want to do, right? Cool. But now this is kind of like a meta-analysis of that ideal. What do you have to put in place? What kind of person would you have to be for this to work? Are you a person that does this and this and this? This is what makes me love The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. It's kind of like you design a self. You're designing the stamp of this kind of person that you want to be before you go and imprint it. Go and watch The Emperor's Soul. The live stream of The Emperor's Soul. But anyway, this is bordering on a grift. Unless he throws something substantial out, this ends in support my book course. Yes, it does. Not a course, but it is a book. I'm okay with just trying this as just having steps. I like this as just as a manifestation of smart. Like, don't use my love of Sanderson against me. Come on, it's beautiful. He may be correct, but this is giving me scam vibe. He's making big claims without evidence. Well, that's also because he's busy telling you he is he's trying to sell this to you, especially with the format of the video. I think that's also what is making you red flags about it. And I understand. A lot of people don't like that. But I'm trying to take the value out of it. And I'm not going to go and put money behind him or something like that. This is more about, what is this going to do for me? What am I going to do with this as an exercise for me? That's what I want to do. Okay, write down milestones. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm buying into this, that, oh, this is gonna work. Like, oh, he's giving me the answer to life. It's like, no, I want to do this because it seems like it makes sense to me. And it's an exercise I would like to do. But I need to understand it more for it to work better on me and for me to be able to perform it at all.
Habits and new beliefs.
So write down milestones, habits. The way it says new beliefs, that's quite interesting, because that's in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. There's beliefs that, okay, they're not new, but there's beliefs that you've got to try and inhabit a lot more. So like the common bad belief will be, I'm worthless, blah blah, and then the opposite one is that you're supposed to, you need to go and be more caring for yourself, and that would be a new belief. That's how I'm interpreting what he says. I don't care whether it's right or wrong. New beliefs that make accomplishing your goal a natural byproduct. So that's, again, like, a lot of this stuff is rehashing all kinds of self-help. That's okay. Whatever fucking eventually works. New habits, new beliefs that make your accomplishing your goal a byproduct. I think one of the ways he phrases this is that you can't help but succeed because of the way this is. But again, I feel like this is just the reason that this appealed to me so much. This appealed to me so much because I don't spend time. I've tried it a lot, but I needed a sort of blueprint of what to do with visualization. Like I've tried to inhabit good things and expect good things and imagine what I could do that is good, because I never spent time doing that. That was part of like what I learned in therapy, is that I can put some time towards hope. That's a good thing. But this is kind of like a blueprint of what you can do with it, like a writing prompt for me, which I'm actually quite excited about, because it's like, okay, no. It's asking me the right questions. Like, how do I, what is a milestone for me? What habits would this ideal person have? I think what actually happens with this system is you come down in between. I like this idea of giving your brain contrast. You're giving your brain consequences. We work on consequences. So it's like, okay, but remember, if you don't continue, if you don't change, this is what's going to happen to you. And of course, that's a red flag for anxiety. We'll get to it. Brain training a certain IQ becomes weird. Well, what do you mean? Like, I don't have to worry about that. I think my first comment is probably most valuable, Kitty. Understanding your current position is extremely valuable. Stagnation. Yeah, well, that's where I'm at. You're a bit like Brett Cooper in the thumbnail, or is it just me? Some people have said that before. Haven't they said that before? Haven't you guys said that before? I don't take that as a problem. I don't mind looking like her. But I think Brett's more like, that's all. Anyway, let's go.
Beliefs are going to make accomplishing this goal a byproduct of all of these new traits. The goal accomplishment should always be looked at as, what can I do to make my goals a natural byproduct of how I'm choosing to live my life?
And see, that's the sort of thing that's in. It's basically, if you go and read Atomic Habits and things like that, all of this is you can just format it to make this claim. So it makes sense.
How can I make my goals a byproduct? So
like if you go into Atomic Habits, it's like make it easy, make it like it goes into that sort of thing. This is kind of just a bit more meta about it. Oh, just the thumbnail, not usually. Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the eyebrows.
So don't focus on the goal here. Focus on the habits and belief.
See what he's saying? Focus on the habits and belief, not the goal, the habits. Not the goal, the habits. I think this does come back with CBT, because a lot of the time with CBT, you do have to actually, you bring yourself, you have an emotion and you say, what is this emotion telling me? What does it tell me about my beliefs? You actually go to your core belief a lot of the time. So just identifying that belief somehow, the new belief that you were supposed to have, I think makes it a lot easier to pinpoint. This is starting to sound like reworded. Oh, well, it's definitely a lot more catchy. It's trying to be a lot more, woo, you can brainwash yourself, rather than here's some self-improvement tips.
Beliefs that make the goal a natural byproduct of who.
Look at him, he made a diagram.
who you are going to become. So goals are destinations, habits and behaviors are the vehicle to the goal. Next, we're going to write out a detailed and very...
Okay, so that also is in Atomic Habits. This, in Atomic Habits, you actually write out your current habits. Part of the reason you do that in Atomic Habits, in that book, is to see where you can put new habits in, right? But again, I think this is just what really brought me in to this format of goal setting. So yeah, current list. So basically, it will ask you in Atomic Habits to go and write down exactly what you do every day, what's your daily habits, whatever, and then it'll go on to say, well, this is how we can chain your habits onto it, like find a new habit. But for me, I need to do this step of defining, but I can't stagnate after that, just because I have to do this. Okay, list the current habits, behaviors and beliefs that make your least desired outcome come true. Like, I think it would be really good for me to write down, this is what you believe about yourself if you don't change. This is you continue to believe this. You continue to do this if you don't change. So it's the same sort of contrasting that you're doing. I see that. I actually think you should put this as a white one as well. And then put this one as, actually, yeah, that one, and then this one as a red one, because it's doing the same principle. Oh, sorry, other way. Yeah. Least desired outcome. True. Okay. Let's go.
Maybe painful list of all the habits, beliefs, and behaviors that you might currently be doing that's going to make your least desired outcome come true. So this outcome will be a byproduct of these maybe negative or neutral traits and worldviews. Here's the truth, though. Your habits today are building one of two futures. Write down all of those beliefs.
So that's basically what he wants. That's your desired disaster. Okay, so obviously that's a very nice and catchy way to say what happens. This stinks, just my opinion. This is a grift. I don't see how it's a grift. How is it a grift? But when he gets to his point, I suppose. I don't see how it's a problem. I like the format that he's in terms of the format of the idea, not the format of the video. I understand the videos, but for me, I like this framing. Okay, keeping a day planner, working out, desire 3 times per week, 9 p.m. bedtime, studying, waiting till the last minute, smoking, staying up to midnight, binging Netflix. Okay. So those were his examples. So yeah, this is the contrast thing. I don't see how that's a problem or how it's a grift.
Those behaviors or habits that could just drag you toward the nightmare that you wrote down earlier. Make it painful because you need to feel the cost of your inaction.
It smells like a scam. Maybe it's like, I guess what you're feeling is just, the fact that it's because it's all leading up to learn more in my book. But I'm just interested in what's in the video itself. But I suppose, the format of the video is getting to you. Selling a book, I find it stinky. If no book, I would be able to be way more invested again. Just me. I think so. I think you're right. Now, just looking at the fact that he's got the logo of the book there and everything, it's like your video is not genuine. I suppose is what you're feeling there. It's like he's not genuinely just telling you something interesting and something that might change your life. He's actually, this is his advert. This is his presentation. Yeah. This isn't new news. Yeah, but he puts it that way because it's YouTube. Because it's YouTube and it's January. So let's see. As well, he's making this news like this is the video that will change your life. So maybe I was taken in that way. But you know what? If anything, it's making me want to go back and reread Atomic Habits.
Next, we have mammalian brain programming. So
feels like publicity, not a genuine need to help. Yeah, well, that he's going to that's him making money. But he does have the expertise. I will say that. Although I'm not so much interested in applying this stuff, I'm more interested in like just understanding it. I don't need to. He's gonna do a habit too. Gym, woo, enjoy it. Okay. Yeah. So what did he say? Mammalian brain programming. So I guess this is where I suppose the grift or the fancy schmancy stuff comes, where he's like, look, I'm putting in new words for you. But what I will promise you guys is that I'm not going to buy the book, okay? I've been interested in it because of the human psychology behind it, but not in, yeah. This could work for you, no judgment. I just disagree with the angle. Yeah, I get you. I understand. I understand the vibe you guys are getting. I think it's because of the goodwill that I've got from Chase from the behavior panel that makes me sort of trust him just in general and trust his knowledge. That's what it is. But I can see definitely I guess you will say grift. When you say grift, that means he doesn't believe it. I don't think that that's true. I think he does believe what he's talking about. It's just that he's selling. He definitely is selling, but I won't say that he doesn't believe it. I think the thing that you're picking up on is that he's selling, and that makes you feel icky. That's a big trigger. I have special knowledge that will drastically improve your life. Let's see how it goes, guys. I don't remember exactly how he brings the book in.
So how will you use the FATE model to brainwash yourself into getting into new habits, beliefs, worldviews, and mindset? So the FATE model is a system I developed.
Okay, so there you go. This I think is where the I suppose the grift the sales comes in, because this is where he doesn't tell you. I don't think he tells you properly about it. Let's see.
To understand and use the 4 elements that make the mammalian brain start taking action on stuff. It's the most powerful.
So you see the 4 elements of evolutionary psychology: survival, focus, authority. So he uses fate, this thing, which I see that also you can see why this took me in, man. Look, he can use mind maps. It's a weakness. Okay, he used mind maps, and so this is where he goes and he's saying, okay, we're going to use the fate model. Okay, let's see if he gives us any information on it that can actually let us go forward. So far, this is all I wanted to do. This was all I was very interested in. This way of describing things the way I want them to be and all of that. But buying the book, no, that's not happening. Fate model, I'll put here for everybody. Everybody look, grift. There you go. I'll say sale. Okay. Because I do believe he created this system, don't worry, and he believes in it. That's the only thing. I'm not saying that it's not sales.
Tool to understand how to shape human behavior, and there's the most detailed tutorial in the world inside of the NCI textbook, and that's called the Behavior Operations Manual. It's on Amazon. If you want to learn
how much is it?
To use it on other people in conversations.
See, that I don't like that. How to use it on other people, that thing. I'm not interested in that. Like, because actually, honestly, I can't. I don't have enough of the cognitive capacity to try and manipulate people.
Get back to the goal setting part. This is about focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. So let's start with focus. Right here, we're going to write how.
Yeah, okay, so there, focus. Okay, fine, let's go fate model. I don't want the details. I want to understand what I can do with this for myself. Okay, so focus. So focus. That's what I'm thinking of is here. You're focusing in. We've got the HD of it all. Focus. Okay.
How will you maintain focus on your goals at an animal level, at the mammalian level? Words don't work at this level, so imagery, massive amount.
Okay, this is interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do this. This is the brainwashing bit, boys. And now I'm remembering. It's okay, it's a vision board thing, but it's over the top. This is how it goes.
Amounts of novelty and changes in your environment and repetition are very important to the mammalian brain because of the reticular formation in the brain.
So he's now using the animalness of your brain against you, for you, right?
Other people call this the reticular activating system. Whatever we repeat, the brain says, Chase wants more of this.
Okay, so he wants us to what will make us focus. So he said the fate model. We've got focus, fate, blah blah, authority, whatever. But for focus, you're supposed to so just reticular. What is it? Let's go back.
Their reticular activating system.
Okay, that of course, if you're not paying it, if you're just going wow, cool words that I don't understand. This might be as part of his sales pitch. It's just going, oh, here's my expert knowledge. So I used words that are interesting, therefore I know more than you, whatever. But he's not going to be lying either. About the reticular activating system. If it makes sense, I want to know about it. Okay, I want to know that this is underlying his methods.
Whatever we repeat, the brain says Chase wants more of this,
which means what we repeat. Okay,
I want more of this. I'm going to search for it and search for it in life. And the question,
Kitty, I would love it if you streamed with Matt at Fileboard Productions. You guys have entirely conflicting perspectives but similar goals. Would be an awesome conversation. How are we conflicting? That's interesting. I've been on stream with him, I think on Leon's stream or on Circle Jerks, I think it was. So I have enjoyed his company before. Repeated action. A lot of the time, don't mistake me trying to understand something as me immediately believing it and taking it into my heart. That's another thing with certain debates and stuff. Just because I understand that a certain perspective doesn't mean I now believe it. But that being said, yes, I am on this side of I want to do what is in this video. I just don't know if I'm going to go as far as... Okay, this
questions our brain is asking about the environment determine what we see. So this is where the nonstop exposure to vision boards start to come in.
Exposure. So you actually have to... Vision boards are a thing that they're very popular. It's not, again, like Ship has said, it's not new information, right? This is not a new, wow, oh my gosh, revolutionary thing. Vision boards have been, I think, for a while, and then online now they are properly. It's like every normie's got. You're not a sophisticated psychological self-reflecting person if you have a vision board. You're just somebody who's in 2025. He just wants to work the algorithm to get views. You went internal. It was Circle of Jerks. I actually tend to move to your side. I look inward rather than outward. Would be a great convo. Okay, so you went internal. I actually tend to move to your side. So is he more external? He wants to look at what other people are doing. I do both things. I'm just so flippant. My main interest is humans. I'm so interested in them. So if I can understand any behavior, including my own, so it's any human behavior, mine, another person's, mine in context to another person, that fascinates the fuck out of me. So that's why I like his kinds of his knowledge and his books and things like that, because it's just fascinating that way to have a framework to look at behavior through. I wanted to be a psychologist. That was one of the reasons I was so interested in it. So, okay, let's continue.
And a vision board is a collection of visual images which are understandable to the mammalian brain, since there's no words there. And these things represent your desires.
No words. Yeah, they represent your desires. Okay, vision board exposure, representation of desires, I suppose. Words are very powerful for me, but then again, one of the things that often happens with with the CBT bot that I use, it actually will often, it seems like it's programmed to ask, what's the name, how you can make a solid reminder of the thing that you are now thinking of in CBT, or the solid reminder of this belief going forward. So one of the things I did was like, okay, when I see my tattoo, I'm going to think of this. And of course, that's not all the time, but you do need representations. You need concrete abstractions of your belief. He just wants to, he thinks social media is against him. Exactly. I think he could have he thinks social media is against him. Okay. Interesting. You can suggest it to him, but I don't think he will even remember me. I got the impression that he was like, okay, cool, some other girl on there. I honestly got the impression he was just like, cool, that's nice. Don't think he'll remember me. I keep thinking you're talking about weed, but then remember what country. Why? Okay.
Desires and goals. If you're in your office, get a big ass TV.
If you're in your office, get a big ass TV.
And just go buy an iPad or something that you could just duct tape to the back of the TV and put a slideshow of all of these. This is like 8, maybe 900.
Did you hear him? He says 8, maybe 900. Which is a great procrastination tool, I would say. Go and gather 800 to 900 images of a slideshow. Leave it with me, Kitty. If you're willing to stream with him, I'll make it happen. Don't put too much pressure. I don't like pressurizing people to stream with me. But I do love the suggestions from people that are watching us. If they think it'll be an interesting conversation, they know they've spent time watching both our content. So yeah, all I'm saying is from me, no pressure. Okay, then, so that I keep hearing THC when you say CBT. Oh, okay. Okay. So the vision board exposure, I feel like there needs to be like a point to tell us what you want us to describe, to discuss. Ship, tell us exactly what you want him to talk to me about that we're supposed to disagree on, because that's fascinating as well. How do we disagree as humans? Okay, 800, 900 images of a slideshow. Focus, authority. Hey, by the way, authority. So authority is going to have to do with emotion. I thought authority and tribe were together. Okay, so let's see.
Images just on repeat forever. It just goes on and on and on. Even while you're sleeping, you're not even in the office. It's on there when you walk in. It's on when you walk out.
He's bought by big electricity so that we continue to use electricity.
You lead that on to maximize that level of exposure.
Maximizing this exposure. Okay.
Getting that done really well. There's a million videos on how to make vision boards and stuff like that. So next on the list is authority. How are you going to leverage authority figures?
Leverage authority figures and social proof. So that's what I thought. Tribe sounds the same, but anyway.
Here's social proof to ensure that your mammalian brain knows what you're doing is good, it's allowed, and it's very powerful.
Like I've tried this a little bit You know, like in the Discord, I started at one point, I did a couple days of like, I would screenshot my workouts and say, hey guys, I did my workout. But the thing is, you know, people are very good and excited for you. But if you don't continue doing it, they're not going to be like, they're not going to actually take, you know, time out of their day, hopefully not, to tell you how shit you are for not doing your workout. So let's see what this is.
Now we move into tribe. This is about how can I involve my circle of friends.
Hold
now
up.
we move in knows what you're doing. Figures and social. On the list is authority. How are you going to leverage authority figures and social proof to ensure that your mammalian brain knows what you're doing is good, it's allowed, and it's very powerful. Now we
you did. Oh, you see, he did it. There's what he does. There is what he did. He gives you the thing, and he doesn't explain more. He doesn't explain more. This is where he's like, buy the book. You'll get the extra details. Authority. So social. Says butchered social influence, social pressure. You basically, I guess I have to figure this one out myself. It's make what you're doing. You realize what you're doing is allowed, good, acceptable. Okay. Yes, grifter gonna grift. What are you guys trying to achieve? If the same goal, why did you both go in such different directions? Is there benefit one way or the other? Okay.
Move into tribe. This is about how can I involve my circle of friends in the achievement of all these new habits.
Social proof. Sorry, social proof. Oh, is that like if you look at others, leverage authority figures and social proof? Okay. I feel like that actually means you got to look at others and say, oh, I want to be like them. I want to be like you. And then tribe is using social pressure. Okay. That's why I was confused between them. So it's like, okay, because social proof is, oh, that worked. That person over there is good and admired. I want to be like that person that's good and admired. Okay. And then involve your circle of friends, which I'm essentially, I'm doing. I already did when straight after watching this video, I spoke to my friends about hacking and stuff like that. And yeah, involve your circle of friends and have accountability. Okay. That's what's weird though, and have with involving your friends, I don't need harshness because I've got enough harshness internally. But then at the same time, your friends also are just, they aren't mean to you either. I guess what you're trying to do with this is make your brain say, I don't want to let that person down. I don't want to have to tell that person that I failed.
And beliefs. Get your friends and social circle very much involved. Make deals with them to keep you in check. Bring some accountability into the picture.
I think that's the thing. It's not that they're going to like punish you or anything. It's just you have to tell them, I didn't work out this week. I didn't close my rings on fitness. The whole, like, that's what sharing that's what's supposed to happen with sharing your fitness data and things like that is supposed to do. It's actually, you have to do a check-in. You have to do it regularly, so that the consequences of this become real to you. Feeling, yeah. So then just having a letting others down. going to tell others you've not done. Okay. Which is also kind of embarrassing as well to sounds like peer pressure. That's what you got to do though. That's exactly it. You got to use the peer pressure. And you would know, Theo, that you've been peer pressure for me and Gordon before, but the thing is we don't keep checking in. Or at least we try and become numb to that going, oh, we haven't done it. May I ask why you're evaluating this? I'm not evaluating. Actually, you know what? I'm not evaluating it. I'm actually, I am actually trying to absorb it. I'm studying this. That's what I'm trying to do. These are my study notes. This is me. I am doing this just to make sense of it, which is what I do on my channel. Actually, a lot of the time, which is the reason I started diagramming anything, was just trying to make sense of people's discussions. So the reason I'm doing this is just so I can make sense of the video. I've done it also with some video essays and things like that. It's not exactly an evaluation. It's just understanding. I failed you guys. Yeah, Theo, you failed us. No, but that's, again, it is, it's our response. There's a limit to this sort of stuff. You have that in psychology all the time, or therapy all the time. It's like, of course, you'll have these beautiful things. It's like, oh, don't do this, but you can't have an absolute. You can't have a certain rule. You're not a computer. So on one hand, yes, you want social pressure to be, you can use social pressure, but on the other hand, you don't want your whole identity to be determined by what your friends think of you, or what other people think of you. That's unhealthy. So you've got to balance all of this. Desired end result is to understand, to take the knowledge that he's put in here, the method, understand it, and then actually go and apply it myself in my life. Especially what I want to do, especially, is this part. That's my very, very, because I think about these things, but I never write them down. Oh, I'm disqualified. I'll stop contributing. My bad. Oh, why? What's the problem? Glad to hear it's a positive note. Love you, Theo. You're the best of friends, and you are always looking out for just growth in us, and you've had so much patience as well. Balancing subconscious with the conscious. Hey, that's the thing though. If you do this sort of writing exercise and things like that, for me, the way writing is for me, it like makes a pathway in my brain. It thinks something. It makes an impression there, and it makes it way more real because of the process of putting things into words, written words. Because you see how I talk, I don't make a lot of sense, but when I'm writing, I make a little bit more sense. And yeah, that's my favorite thing that I want to take from this. But then going forward, I don't think I have made like a vision board since I was in school. I think they made us do that. It's part of awareness. Asperger's. Don't get these things. What you don't get? Just making things. Asperger's, you should understand. With Asperger's, you should understand wanting to understand something to the point that it bloody well disintegrates in your hands. That's the channel. Understand things until they make no sense. What's up, Lemons?
Next, we get into emotion. How will I create the emotional attachments to this future self?
Okay, this is an interesting, guys. I would like to hear what you guys think about this, because I never thought of doing this. So you should set up blackmail materials for your auto release. If you don't accomplish your goals, then give the password to a friend. You know what? That is some real practical consequences. That's a problem. Like, I don't know if I can do that. that I suppose that means that you're properly you're properly committed, I suppose. But you know what? Considering this, having a friend give the password to a friend, what that would do for me, okay, is okay. Your friend is not going to release the stuff, okay? They're not going to release it for you, but so they don't want to ruin your life. That's why the friend has the password, right? Or say my husband or something. But the fact that I have to go to him and tell him I failed, that's the mechanism I want to tap into psychologically. Like when a lot of the time, I said to my friend the other day, I was like, I'm now telling you this because now I'm forcing myself to, I will feel guilty if I do not do this thing that I said I was going to do because I told you. Like just doing that sort of stuff in my brain. My future self is probably cool. I would expect so, Ronnie. I say that as someone who is almost definitely on a spectrum, so don't cancel. Okay, so create emotional attachment to yourself. Okay, your future self. That's so. Look, Ronnie has said my future self is probably cool. Well, this is how this person, Chase, wants us to think about our future self.
My future self. One amazing way is to download one of those apps that makes you look really old.
Hey, he doesn't shill a certain app, okay? He doesn't say which app you got to download here. So it's not just for the app.
And print those photos out. Hang them around your office, hang them around your house.
Can you imagine you hang a picture of yourself aged, like in a frame on the wall, and you have a friend over and they're like, who's that? It's like, it's future me. And I do this to brainwash myself. I'm totally going to do that. And Ali's going to be like, who the fuck is this?
Put them on your bathroom mirror. Even you can set the photo as your phone or computer wallpaper. And
I think I would probably use it on my phone. And people are like, oh, is it your grandma? Yes, I'm my own grandma. My future self is an old white man. I don't know if I can trust him. Yeah, you shouldn't. But wait, in the future, we will be transracial, so it'll be fine. So emotion. Future self. You know what? I think being in touch with your mortality through your aged self is quite an interesting mechanic. The reason this really got to me so much is because I'd watched The Substance, okay? And that metaphor of basically taking from your future, your future self to fuel your youth, your young self, and all of that. Like you're taking from yourself, taking away from yourself, if you're doing life wrong. So I don't know, just the idea of having a future self or your aged self and your young self, like working with those concepts. I think that should help you psychologically. That's what I'm thinking. Future self image. What if you made a younger and more successful version of yourself? Would it have the opposite effect? What's the opposite effect? That no, you have to have an emotion. What he wants you to do is have an emotional attachment to it. So that would just make you resent who you are now. This future self is like an ideal to do it. It encourages YOLO.
This is done so that you develop a very visual and mammalian understanding and relationship with your future self. Because one of the huge problems is that people don't prioritize their future selves because it's hard to imagine. They can't see their future self.
I guess if I'm tempted to do is have like a picture of myself, if my future bad self. So it's not the future self I want. It's the future self that is coming for you if you keep eating those chips.
So we make this happen. This is also another entry point for your vision board. So the more imagery you have on there, the more powerful the emotions are going to start to seep into the mammalian brain, which is going to start changing your worldview and your life.
I don't know. I think this image, okay, I understand. I'm going to do it because it's interesting. I haven't done that, but that's it's actually a common exercise that they do in like life orientation, where they like write a letter to your future self and blah 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 blah. I as somebody who's filled with anxiety, I'm always worried about the future, but at the same time, I don't go and inhabit the future in any way possible too far forward, because that's scary. If I have a relationship with that, then I will lose it if I don't change. I suppose that's the whole point, right? I'm going to put that as a note. This is also why I'm live streaming it, because my stream of consciousness comes out. So it's like, if I have a relationship with this, I'll stand to lose it. Therefore, fear to lose it. Therefore, fight to keep it, to develop it. I guess all of this is the brainwashing that's supposed to go on. These are the little these are the threads that are supposed to tie you in to help you motivate you into doing things that you weren't doing before. I appreciate that you don't think any of this is original thought. No, all psychology or anything really is original thought is long gone.
The mammalian brain is where it's at, not the words and all this stuff with the human brain that we always hear about. So the 3 highest leverage new habits to adopt is the next step here. Right here, we're
new habits to adopt. Step 6. Adopt new habits. This is an interesting one, because what is it going to be a marker of your change? Does it make you a different? Look, Ship, I think it's just important as well. Like, I understand what you mean about the grift and everything. Maybe I'm repeating myself here, but what I'm trying to do with this is just take what's good in it and apply it. Try and do this just as an introspective thing for myself. It's scary, actually, having put this out there as a stream, because like, if you go and see my channel, you'll see it is a continued thing of trying and then giving up and trying and then giving up. I don't want that anymore. I want to push beyond the idea phase. A lot of the time, that's all I'm doing. And this sort of stuff, I suppose putting this out there like this is me putting social pressure upon myself. I did it. If you go and watch the Atomic Habits, that was social pressure. That's what I was saying. But then I let it fizzle out. I guess this is me applying it again, but from this live stream, it's got to go back into my actual real life. And that's, I suppose, is where it's going to go to my friends and my husband and all of that, where I tell them what I've described here and what I've done. Damn, I haven't mentioned the grift. It's okay. I'm not giving him any money. Don't worry. I appreciate your self-awareness. I'm trying. Thanks. Okay, so choose 3 new habits. Interesting. Let's see. And I love the power of 3. Woohoo! Because of reasons, it has to be 3.
We're going to develop a deeply powerful list of the most impactful and meaningful new habits.
He definitely is using his word choice will be sales oriented, eh? He is saying deep, meaningful, impactful, because he's tapping into all those emotions. He himself will admit that that's what he's doing with his script.
Habits that can start and enable all the other things to happen just like dominoes. Remember that starting a habit only requires discipline for a short period of time.
That's the usual. So 2 weeks or whatever.
Once it's a new habit, you don't need daily discipline anymore. So
That, yeah, I know, but that's just the hardest thing. It's really tough to start a new habit. To the point I haven't. All my habits are bad ones. If you can go more than a year in the past, and when I was doing the Atomic Habits stuff, one of the things is I could only identify bad habits, and I guess the one that's stuck is I drink water, but the one that has is I drink wine too. Habits, consistency, yes. Small changes that then have their effects much later on as well. Hold on to them. Like I keep making the joke to Gordon, because now last week I did 3 consecutive days of closing the rings on my Apple Fitness. I was like, I've worked out 3 times now. I should be buff. Why am I not buff yet? And that, like, because you want those results, but you have to be happy, be excited for the fact that you've done those habits. You've done. Eventually, it will have an effect, but you can't go, oh well, I didn't get buff after 3 workouts. I guess I should stop. That's not how that works. It didn't take me skipping 3 workouts to become flabby. It took me a lot more workout skipping to do that. So you're going to have to redo it. It's going to take a much longer time. Wait, isn't it 90 days? I suppose 2 weeks might be the hardest, but I thought 90 days to make semi-permanent. Yeah, I think that's quite good. Small goals. Starting new habits extremely easy. Maintenance is hard. Brushing your teeth 3 times a day, exercising 30 minutes a day, boring. But habits. Now, making it a habit, making it a permanent, that thing that you need it, I have not come close. I have not come close to doing that with my habits that I want. And exercise is obviously the main one that everybody wants to do. But I need to make something for this channel part of that as well. So let's see.
Keep in mind that it's okay to start small on these habits, and there doesn't need to be some massive shift right away.
Really? Okay. I'm like, let's go. Let's exercise every day. But you know what? Then again, that being said, my exercise goal is 20 minutes a day. Okay. And I look at my sister's exercise goal and her calories that she's got to burn and all of that. And she's a freaking buff girl. Okay. Yeah, I could go for that, but that's stupid. So yes, it's a big change that I'm asking for, but just doing 20 minutes a day, that means I can literally do 2 sessions of 10-minute sessions of yoga or something. It's just something. So I've tried to make that a small big goal.
It might be waking up early, maybe an hour early to get things done, or buying more healthy food, or going on walks more often.
Okay, that obviously that got me. I'm like, oh, I could go for more walks. That's what I was getting onto before I traveled, was that I leave the apartment, because I can end up staying in the apartment for more than 5 days at a time, so without going downstairs. So I actually made it the point that I would only do grocery shopping for that day, on that day, so that I had an excuse, a motivation to leave the apartment. Kids say week 3 for exercise, it's addictive. Massive dopamine dumps. Your body actually craves it. You know what? I did it yesterday. It was weird. I did crave it. I was just sitting there. I'm like, I thought of having a glass of wine, and then I was like, no. First, do 20 minutes of on the bike. Just do that. And it was a tough 20 minutes because I suddenly had just post-migraine pain in my head, but I just continued anyway. And I was just like, cool, I'm here. All I have to do is just do this. And it feels good. having done it. Really does. So, okay, I won't tell you guys yet what my habits are, but he's saying that it doesn't have to be a big one, but there are 3. Okay, but explain to me why.
Practicing mindfulness, meditating, therapy, making more content, building better calendars and plans for yourself, or
I mean, that hit home. I was like, what, were you talking to me? Talking to me? Talking to me, Chase?
anything else that you think is going to be a linchpin to get you going in the right direction. Now we move into the actual brainwashing formula, and this is literally
Okay, this is the brainwashing formula, guys. Okay, 3. It can be small, but new, related to the goal. Okay. If your channel is what you want to change, you should make content every day for 90 days. You work on your product on stream, so you're making something every day. That's Sneem, that's what I was wondering, if that's what I should be doing, or how I should do it. Maybe make a video once. That's I think the streaming of the project, I suppose, is what can make make me accountable for it. Because there is a video that I promised in November, and there's no reason for me to do it now because it's old news. The algorithm doesn't give a fuck about it, but it's the video that I said was going to be the first video in the debate diagram to video pipeline, right? Remember how many times I've made that promise? So for me, letting go of that video and finding another one that's more popular is not an option. I have to do that video about Piers Morgan and trans issues. I have to do that. So I suppose a way of keeping myself going could be streaming that. I don't have to stream my editing of that. But I guess I could try it at least. Basically, what we're doing here is we're hanging out. I suppose I could try it. And maybe release a video once a week at the same time. So that would be the ultimate goal, is that pipeline from debate diagram live, so a live stream, to a video. That's what I would want to do. Also, no guitar. Listen, guitar is always in my mind, okay? It's over here. It's over here. It's next to me. But that's like a that's the top of the heap of things. If I'm sitting and playing guitar and not creating anything for this channel, that's a problem. Oh, thank you, Ship. Thank you for the $5. Jim first for you. Pretty sure your community will hold you to account, including me. Yeah, well, the fact that you've just given a super to say that's like, oh shit. Oh god, I saw the spit come out of my mouth there. Damn. This is, yeah, just hold me to account. Speaking of which, I haven't done any. What are my rings looking like today? You know what? I'll put them on. I'll put them on as posts. I'll put them in the Discord as well. So, ooh, she said it. She's got to do it. Damn. Okay, let's go.
A formula for brainwashing, but we're going to use it on ourselves to make some badass changes happen.
Badass, he says. Hold on to your butts
in our lives. So we're going to develop new habits using this brainwashing formula, and this formula spells out the word fear.
Look at him. See, this is why I like studying like that. I like those anagram thingies. Not anagrams. I'm looking for the word. It's not coming. It's not anagram. Good Lord. Acronym. There you go. Geez, took me forever. Okay.
Fear, F-E-A-R, and this stands for focus, emotion, agitation, and repetition.
Okay, well, you've repeated focus. Yeah. Adopt new habits. Nah, brainwash mechanism. Fear. this is why this video kind of didn't make sense to me, because he's got these steps, and then it's like, oh, and here's the brainwashing mechanism, by the way. It's like, whoa, where does it fit? It's not a step. Well, but I suppose it is a step. Step 6, step 7, which is not a step. It's a quality that you use for all of this. But okay, whatever. Let's just try and make sense of it. Okay, try and get something out of it.
So in the focus part, how am I going to keep these habits in my daily focus where there is no way that I can possibly ignore them?
No way that I could possibly ignore them. Oh my gosh. No way to ignore them. Well, one of them I can say is having my bloody watch tell me, what? Stip is throwing me off. Sorry. Lisp. There. Get a better accent. I can't do any other accent. I've tried. Okay, so one of the things that does get, you could become desensitized, but my Apple Watch, now that I've become an Apple person, it does go, hey, close your rings, whatever. And yeah, there's no way to ignore them. I guess you can dismiss it, but yeah, having my watch tell me. What if you did an Italian accent? I guess I could do that, because I would, but it would be a South African Italian accent, because that's the only kind of Italian that I've really spent time with. As an Aussie, I can't judge. Yeah, exactly. Actually, an Aussie accent, people that haven't heard this accent before, they think it's an Aussie accent. So you can't judge.
Then we get into emotion. How am I going to bring these habits?
Okay, so focus, no way to ignore the habits. Well, if yeah, how am I going to do that? I suppose I was just talking about my watch. No way to ignore the habits. Basically, having it as part of every day. Oh my God, you can't ignore it, because the bicycle is right in front of me. I stubbed my toe right on the bicycle this morning, and I was like, this thing is here for a reason. So I can't take it away. Okay, let's go.
Habits into an emotional realm where I'm deeply emotionally connected.
See, I think this is why I wanted to do this writing. Like I said, the emotion writing of this thing over here. That's, I think, is why I felt compelled to do this, because it feels like I need to make an emotional connection between what I want to do, how I'm going to do it, all of that. I need that emotional connection. And for me, writing, journaling it, that will be how I do it. But I've been too scared, and yeah. Hey, Davina. Yep, Kiwi, Afrikaans, and Aussie are all interchangeable, apparently. Okay, emotion. So I think for me, I'll put there, for me, writing. And also, and making this diagram itself is another way of translating it, going through an experience with people, live streaming it, all of that sort of thing. That brings an emotion to it. So
to all of them. Then we get into agitation. This is very important.
Agitation.
How will I disrupt my environment enough so that my mammalian brain has no script to fall back on it?
Okay, that's an interesting one. Agitation. No script. So I suppose, yeah, there are a lot of scripts that we do. CBT, hello, that's the whole reason. Those scripts are excuses and beliefs and whatever that will help you not continue pursuing the goal. You're like, oh well, I'm just never going to be fit. So why should I bother? Like, it's taking too long. I'm so old already. I might as well just give in and just stagnate. I'm never going to be as fit as I was when I was 19. Oh well, might as well just no. So those sort of scripts, Okay, he's talking about practical scripts in your environment, but I'm talking about that's what you, if that script wasn't there, I'd be pretty happy. But let's see how you can change the other sort of scripts in your environment.
Doesn't look normal. It doesn't look like the regular everyday stuff. And the novelty is forcing my brain to pay attention. We did a whole nother.
Well, that's what I've done in, okay, you guys might not really, you probably don't realize, but there was a new layout when I started streaming today. And yesterday, basically for the past week, shame, my poor husband's got so much patience with me. This whole area of my desks, I have revamped. I redid my cables and everything, and it took me a long time to do my cable management and stuff like that, because that sort of thing just takes me forever. I overthink it. I stand there and like lose my mind for a bit. I don't know how that something like that takes me that long, but it did. But the thing is, I did it. I've reconfigured everything. My webcam's in a different place. Things are novel. So that's why this is a good time for this to happen. So I've changed my environment, the way my environment looks. So that's helped. And there is a huge mess right now, so it hasn't been completely cleared. This is getting super meta. Are you doing the stream to challenge your biases or affirm them, or are you looking for an outside perspective that won't fit any narrative in this area? It's getting super meta. Are you doing the stream to challenge your... No, I'm doing the stream to literally to identify if I have biases, to identify anything here. That like I said, I'm trying to understand. That's all I'm doing, is I'm trying to understand this, and then just have a think about what I want to do with this stuff. Because I want to put it into action. I feel like that going back to that thing that I said that I was stagnated. I'm putting this into motion because I want to have some. It's a manner of getting motivation into my life. It's like a normal person has with any New Year's resolutions thing. So I'm not going to be like, oh, here's video 1 of me changing my... I'm not going to go and apply a vlog of me doing the Chase Hughes tango. No, this is just me making sense of his video, and then I'm going to do stuff with it in my life that you guys don't need to hear about. Okay, so let's see. No script to fall back on. Let's see.
YouTube video on this. What can I do to disrupt my brain's prediction centers? I might rearrange furniture in my house. For some clients, they repainted the inside of their house. They maybe bought a new car. They changed up their wardrobe, etc., etc.
Oh shit! I was brainwashed because I got a new kind of new wardrobe-ish thing because I went shopping in South Africa. So I've at least got that. The thing is that you have to emotionally imbue those changes. I think your brain has to understand those changes as being signs of novelty and whatever. Otherwise, it's just, you can easily just numbly go past. I moved my furniture. I think maybe what you're worried about, Ship, with how I'm saying this, is you're worrying that I'm like thinking if I change my furniture around, I will be a better person. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give myself the best odds. That's all. That's all I'm talking about. I know that it's way more and a lot more complicated than just moving your furniture and painting the room. You're making a real choice. Just sharing is okay. You're talking to yourself with viewers now. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not criticizing him. I'm not saying yes or no. This is about me. I'm sharing it with you guys. That's why I'm on the front thumbnail for once.
How can I disrupt my brain's ability to predict the future? Does it look like what it looks like every single day? If it does, my brain's going to go off of scripts, and the scripts that I've always operated.
And the scripts that I've always operated on. So there you have that as well, that you identify those scripts over here that you don't want. That's another thing that's in Atomic Habits. We actually, he talks about the method of pointing things out. That's CBT. It's all mishmash together, and that's what I'm trying to do. Okay.
Rated on. So the final part of this is repetition. And this is about daily monitoring.
No script to fall back on. Sorry. I'm used to some novelty. Clothes. Well, they're visual. I say visual. Cute. This is something that I'm just even thinking of like as a novelty thing. It's like, oh, I'm finishing a bar of soap currently. Okay, there's like a little bit left of that soap. I'm going to get a new bar of soap. And I've decided that the novelty of that bar of soap is going to have significance to me. So I'm doing top down and bottom up processing at the same time to try and just make that make meaning in my head, because meaning making is the only thing that's going to make me move forward. Okay.
Every single day. It might only take 30 seconds, but how am I going to ensure there is a non-stop exposure to all of these things?
New soap, exactly. And it's going to be the most amazing soap, guys. Okay. Repetition. How will I ensure a non-stop exposure to all of this? Okay, so repetition. Do I make a clip of this and then of this this stream? That's an interesting one. Feels sudsier. A new bar of soap does feel suddier than the tiny sliver you try to finish. Really, it is. You can see through it. It is a round thing, but you can see through it now. And I was like, I could probably throw this out. I'm like, no, there's still more. I can still get more out of this. Kitty chat. Hi, Kyle. I've heard weird people try to combine those pieces of soap. Yeah, they like they go and they like melt them together. Sneeze. Sorry. I'm allergic to Kyle. He came around and boom. You never let soap get to that stage? Boo, ship. No. I suppose you're like my husband. My husband would be like, we don't have to let soap get to that stage. And I'm like, with this toothpaste as well, I'm like, there's still stuff left in here. He's like, yeah, but it's too difficult to get out. Just throw it out. Like, no, there is more. Soap waster, exactly. Tell him. Okay. Repetition. So how do we get that? How will I expose non-stop exposure to this? Does that mean I have to show my entire... See, the thing is, I have a mind map about my strategies, like mental health strategies that I've done. And that's there for me to see every day, but it's become a just a poster that sits there and does nothing. So it has to be better than that. Non-stop exposure. So how that, I suppose, is the it's the slideshow thing. Toothpaste is different. I don't want to have to go full Wayne on a tube. I bring sickness? No. Yeah, you do. No, I'm just kidding. How's it going? Okay. Scientifically, I think the full bar of soap has more water content, while the old little sliver is drier. That's probably why it feels sudsier. Yeah, there's more surface area to create more suds. It makes sense. Yeah.
Until the discipline is no longer needed and the habit finally gets formed. The next step is one of the most important, and this is the dopamine map. So
listen, for me, a map is dopamine. In terms of a mind map, look at that. That just makes me feel nice. Just having that kind of something makes sense to me in that way. Makes me feel nice. But what's a dopamine map?
So what we're going to do here is develop a map of where my dopamine sources are coming from in life.
Dopamine. Okay, so dopamine map. sort of stuff is ancillary. It's extra stuff. I don't know if this is going to. This is. I suppose this is just interesting, and maybe that's what I'll do it for, as a therapeutic exercise, reflective exercise. So the way he's done it here is negative, positive. I'm gonna have to screenshot this. Negative, positive, dopamine chart. It's a 100 scale. Skinner's motivation, rat training, and psychology. They're garbage in the scientific community. Well, he's part of it.
And we're going to assign each item a point value that once it's totaled all up is going to equal 100 points. This is likely not where you want to be at the end of this.
Okay, so negative, positive, video games, social media scrolling, binge watching shows. Okay, so this is again, you know what? I actually think this is a repetition of what we did up here, where you're looking at what's good and what's bad. You're giving us the positive and the negative. We're finding that contrast. You're just repeating this message, which is what he says is important. So, okay. Misapplying the dopamine thing. I'm not going to be like, ooh, because it's dopamine, it's going to work. I just like the idea of literally viewing looking at your life through a certain kind of lens to see what insights you can gain. Alcohol, social media, scrolling, over-exercising, positive, spending time with family, taking walks, traveling, procrastination. That's duh. So I don't need that. Maybe the reason people use this dopamine is because it makes them feel scientific. So they're like, oh, I get to talk about my brain chemicals, and that will make me feel better and make me feel more capable that I'm doing something physical. I'm making this easier. That I think maybe that's why they like this. What's the name? They like this terminology.
So
because the brain is not as simple as that.
Under this, we're going to develop a more desired dopamine map. And this is the map of where we have like the majority of our new sources of dopamine.
New sources. I would say, let's call it a joy map, guys. It doesn't have to be dopamine. So present, positive, negative. Okay, and then past. Oopsie. Future. So it's just the distribution. I think this works with something that I had in my therapy, where it was, how much time am I spending on a certain thing? Therefore, what's the outcome going to be? Am I really putting 80% in, or am I putting 20% in? So that's kind of what I'm looking at it like. I don't care about whether it's dopamine or not. It's a scale. So they've just decided it's dopamine map. So what I'll say here is joy map, time usage map. I don't need it to coincide with brain chemicals. For me, it's actually, what am I using my time with? What can I reconfigure? And the reason that this sort of visual movement of something like that happens helps is it puts something in my brain that I can then go and tap every now and then. Okay, you know what that is? Yeah, hold on. Okay, making a diagram. Hold on, let's put this in. Making a diagram is making a sign for me. Okay, so you know there's that joke of don't make me tap the sign. I need to make the sign. That's why making a diagram, writing a thing, drawing a map of it, whatever, that's me making the sign. And then I want to go out in my life and tap the sign. So don't make me tap the sign. I need a sign. in order to even make the comment, don't make me tap the sign. That's the end of my PSA. So, thank you. There you go. Let's go flip.
Mean to come from. And this is going to help us to live the life that we want. So if, for example, alcohol and video games are taking up 60 of my dopamine points.
See, this is 60% of my dopamine points. I'm thinking of time. That's time.
And time with my kids is taking up 20 points, something is wrong. So it's important to be very brutally honest with yourself here. There's a negative and a positive side on these dopamine maps. So where's my dopamine coming from? Is it video games or YouTube or TikTok or Instagram? Or is it family time and working and doing creative work, spending time with kids or whatever's important?
What's happening here? I was reading about the movie and book Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick. Lol. It took the author and his wife years to finish the novel because of his drug addiction and the painful nature of the subject. Woof. The rotoscoped animation with Keanu Reeves and Jeez, okay. Interesting. Psychologists underestimate the power of human perversity. Yeah, true. I saw that movie years ago, saw it while movie hopping first time. Good to see ya. Okay, so I don't know. Do I want to see that? That sounds like it's going to make me very sad. It's good stuff? Okay. Maybe that will be tonight's movie. Okay. Where are we at? Let's go.
To you. This is about figuring out, what do I want my sources of dopamine to be, and consciously choosing those sources of dopamine. That is so critically important to this coming year when you're setting these goals. So whatever you want to do this year to change your life, remember that everything in your life will come down to habits, beliefs.
See, now the music gets all inspiring and stuff. Everything will come down to habits beneath Papa.
Worldview and discipline. Beliefs are the most difficult to change for a lot of people. So if you're a subscriber, the next
there you go. Here's the next thing. Here's the sale. Here we come.
Next video that I have coming out will be the most advanced and most comprehensive video about changing your beliefs that has ever been made. And I can guarantee you that. Thank you for
He's using Trump language.
Watching. You can download this brainwashing goal sheet right here. I'm going to put a link down in the description.
No, I made my own one, Chase.
And I want to remind you that you don't need anybody's permission to change your life.
Thank you. I like that.
There is a completely different destination that's waiting for you over the horizon. And now is the time to set that new waypoint on the map.
He zoomed in. They zoomed in on him. That means that he's serious.
No more drifting, no more waiting. If confidence is one of your goals, there is a...
There you go. Okay, we'll stop there. I won't let that continue. Because then Ship's gonna lose his ship. Okay, what's happening? Both the novel and film got mixed reviews. There's some surreal and hallucinogenic stuff because of the drugs, the triumph of marketing over science, the mainstreaming of therapy consumption. Oh, Scanner Darkly was a great movie. It doesn't affect my view on how to achieve goals, though. Okay. My view on how to achieve goals. Achieve them. Try. Whatever it fucking takes to help you. And I feel like this would help me. The brain becomes divided against itself. Davina, you aren't magic, right? Davina is magical. No, friendship is magic. Yes, it is. But yeah, that was the reason that I wanted to do this, is to see what it's like. And I'm actually going to go and have a session that I do writing this. It's very, you know what, the reason I want to, I'm scared of doing this is because it's like now, then I'm creating expectations for myself, and then they're real, and then I can fail. And that's scary. I don't like that. But it's necessary. That's part of it. I think achieving goals is scary. That's my unique thought on the matter. Trying to achieve, trying to do anything, trying to live better than yesterday is scary stuff. And now I'm trying it, and that's yeah. Basically, let us just finish. What's it? Recap, okay? What the whole thing is doing, and then my task is to actually go and do this, to go and do the steps, okay? Take away the format thing. Thank you. Okay. Got to go. See you Thursday. See ya. Davina, as someone with mental health issues, I can promise the brain can work against itself. It's not sci-fi. Oh yeah. That's very true. It's as if there's something in there that's fighting you. Okay. Let's put on some music. There, this one. Okay. So step one, this is, I think the main concept that you can actually get from the whole video is that you use two sides of the brain. You're using the ideal, and I say of the brain. It's more like of the idea. So you've got the good, the best thing that can happen, and the worst thing that can happen, and basically it'll be what happens. You're trying to at least get in the middle. But you're using these two markers to orient yourself. If you describe the ideal and live in the ideal and do not take any negative feedback and into heart, that's not going to help you. But that I think anyone with mental health experience, mental health therapy experience, whatever, knows that you can take any bit of advice and turn it toxic. It really is dependent on what you do with something that you learn. Okay. So, vivid details. So, describe the ideal outcome. That's what scared me. I've explained it to you that I don't like that. It's scary to do. It means I've got expectations, and a lot of the time I feel like, how dare you have those? How dare you have those aspirations? But that's what the ideal outcome looks like. So this is the outcome that you talk about. Then the least desired outcome, I think that I'll be very good at describing how things will be worse if I continue. Okay. So this will be more of a challenge than this. I can catastrophize way better than I can expect the ideal. But I think that's probably what makes me scared of it, is that the ideal is it's unreachable. The reason it's called the ideal is that it's unreachable. But the thing is, it is still worth hoping for. It's still worth aspiring to. If you're what? If you're great, but if you come out of this with only the information you already knew, I will judge you. What, as in from the video? I haven't gotten anything new. No, what I've gotten is the map now. It's reachable. Have faith in you. Thanks, Theo. What I've gotten for this is also, it's a meta view of the whole video. So don't worry. I've gotten information from it. I've understood and actually diagrammed the brain needs contrast thing and the principles. So it's not like I didn't understand the video before completely. It's just now it's solidified in. It's like I said, this is like my study notes of the video. So yeah, there's nothing new that I've found out and discovered from this video, except, okay, I won't, let's not lie, actually. The grift angle was not, it didn't feature for me. It was not a problem the first time I watched it because I was too busy listening to the information. This time around, it was more irritating. and more obvious. Whereas when it was me just in my personal capacity, it was just, I'm getting the information. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go and I need to go and buy Chase's book right now and he'll change my life and all of that. It was more like, no, I like this idea. This is a fascinating idea. So I took the gem of what was coming out from here, not the sales pitch. Those achievable goals build confidence. Yeah. Okay. But that's, yeah, there is that principle that needs to be underlying that isn't really here, is the tiny, okay, it is kind of, he mentioned it over here when he said new habits, he said start small. That's the atomic habits discussion. The atomic habits is like, it's tiny little things that actually become increments in your life. This is, I suppose, a starting point of some For fair, Kitty, taking positives away is always good. And didn't mean to blackball, just wanted to provide balanced perspective. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Despite all my rage, I'm just a rat in a cage. Is that from the Smashing Pumpkins? Okay, cool. Write down the mile. So we've got yeah, like I said, least desired outcome will be very easy for me. Like I feel like I could do that immediately, but no, I've got to spend more time on this. This is a thing I want to do. Step 3, write down milestones, habits, new beliefs that make accomplishing your goal a natural byproduct. I've done this actually kind of through therapy in terms of you literally find ways to word new beliefs that you don't usually cognitively consciously. You don't consciously say these things to yourself, but it's kind of like it's trying to remap certain pathways by saying, okay, this belief is what I'm trying to work on here. So I've got those abstractly in my journal, but not practically with the goal and the habits and the beliefs like that. I think what I will do writing wise as a writing exercise is kind of use a description of a day, but write it out. I've always said I was going to do that, but I never wrote it out. So anyway, read that book I suggested to Gordon, The Slight Edge. Yeah, that's exactly that's what I was talking about, the incrementalism stuff. That's the same thing. We've got that book there, and Atomic Habits. Incremental, the Slight Edge, and because I think I've got The Slight Edge as an audiobook. The Slight Edge and Atomic Habits, basically the same thing. This thing, basically the same thing. So, which means there's something to it. You just got to do it. Okay, write down milestones, habits, new beliefs that make accomplishing your goal a natural byproduct. What can make it? I like that framing. That's a key framing that you've got to do, is that makes it natural, that it's not like a slog. It's just that if you do this, you cannot but. Obviously, luck is involved in a lot of things in life, but there is no way that eating healthier does not make me healthiher. Okay? That sort of thing. List current habits, behaviors, and beliefs that make your least desired outcome come true. So that's the same thing where we're giving the brain contrast. Okay, so that's why I put the 2 colors there. Then again, that's very easy to list all of the things that I do that are bad. And then it does it again. Okay, so he does the mammalian brain programming, and then fear. It's basically the same thing. Fate and fear. This is the meta knowledge of this video that I've gained from this map. Okay, he gives you the same message. He gives you different exercises to do, but he's giving you the same message several times. Just the brain needs contrast. That's the main thing. It's just, okay, between the ideal and the desired, and the least desired, that's the contrast you give. Then he goes and gives you this fate model, which is the variables that go into it, the things that the boosters. Now, what would we call them? The buffs that help you do this, put this into action. So he describes that, and he describes it basically again. With first he does fate, and then he does focus, and that's the same thing. Then he goes back to the contrast with the present, past, and present. So he does it about 3. How many times do we have it? We've got 1. Let's create a barrier, a boundary. 2. So this, we'll say brain needs contrast. Okay. Mammalian programming, there we go. I'll say that this is the buffs to be applied, buff mechanism to apply, brain mechanism applied. Okay. Then this over here, this is just a practical thing. So I guess it's its own boundary, is practical step. Okay. Then over here, we go back to mammalian brain, blah, blah, blah. This is the buff brain mechanism applied. Buff brain mechanism applied. Application, sorry. Mechanisms, I would say mechanisms, not applied. Mechanisms. Okay. And then again, giving us the contrast. Brain needs contrast. So those are those main themes that actually come out of it for me. Mm-hmm. Is the end game to gain subs or find fulfillment in the YouTube game? Both. Like any other YouTuber, you do want subs, but you want. I think if I got subs that were not interested in, that were interested in the wrong thing, I don't think I would find fulfillment. I know that there's certain things I could do that would probably gain me more subs, but I don't want to be that kind of content creator. So it's try to find fulfillment in the YouTube game, in creating something, and hopefully along the way get subs, which I know is a very, very difficult thing. I think that's my. I'm attempting that with this YouTube channel. It's the first time I've attempted something in a long time that has been my own goal. So, and I'm very skeptical about it. Don't worry, I've got lots of doubts. It's like wanting to become a rock star. It's seems silly, but it's something I have to endeavor to do and see what happens with it. That's all. Because I have the opportunity to do that. I wouldn't have had the opportunity if I was in a different country, or if I had different circumstances. I wouldn't have the opportunity to be able to do this. So that's another reason I've got to do it. I hear you, both is the answer, but the path you're starting down is one in a million. Exactly. That's it's 1 in a million. It's very scary, and it's not something that I would recommend somebody wants to do. Yeah, it's not something that. But either way, one of the things as well is that fun doesn't become anything that can be sustainable career-wise. I think I do need to be creating things all the time. That's what I need to be doing. So even if it isn't a career going forward, I will need to be doing to create something, and that's a part that I've ignored for for a while. I did stand up. It's difficult and requires huge amounts of self-reflection. It can be uncomfy sometimes. Bearing yourself on the internet is brave as fuck. I wouldn't air myself down this way. Oh no, well, yeah, I think they're just so natural. I think anybody could guess my self-doubts. They're so easily thought up. It's anyway. It feels. I know women. Maybe there's a thing of women just sharing their L's on the internet. That is a thing that they do. So there's me sharing my L. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Buff brain mechanisms. Had a good chat basically, but what I need to do is actually take this map, put it on my iPad, and go and write. I think that's part of it. I have to go and write. Key part of it. It is the thing. Maybe I need to give myself a word count that I need to do so that I make sure I've written enough. Anyway. That is it, I think. No gender here, just props for what you're doing. Thanks, Ship. I appreciate that. I think sharing myself is part of what I like about YouTube. Sharing thoughts and things like that. Maybe it's a weakness. Maybe it's something that's people can exploit, or it's some sort of a need for attention that can be unhealthy. There's that. But I want to do it, and I've got to actually do it. Time 1 hour a day. Of what? Of writing? No, of something. But anyway, you're actually writing as well. People that want to be writers, they have to do that sort of thing. They have to get into those sort of habits. It doesn't matter what yours is. It'll be interesting to see what does this look like for somebody else with a different goal. Oh, I like that idea. There's nothing shameful about art or wanting to be creative. You know what? That's something that's a belief, Davina, that I actually need to go and create over here. What beliefs or whatever would I need to hold to be able to achieve my goal? That is something that I would have to believe. I would actually have to believe that there's nothing shameful about creativity, that there's something valuable about creativity. For me, there's something valuable about it. That means that I can spend time doing it, and I should spend time doing it. So I can stop feeling guilty about doing it, because that's what I do. Anyway, the point is I've got to do it. And the thing is, the goal, guys, sorry, Ship, I suppose I've made it seem like the whole goal for this goal map is 1 million subscribers or whatever. It's actually not that. That is the practical, I suppose, aspect of it. Is it's got to do with this channel, but the main goal is actually me in my life and what I'm doing in my life. It's not, the channel is what I've chosen to focus on practically, because that's what I'm spending my time on. But even so, the channel is only one part of the changes that I want to do in my life. Poe told me that artists often look lazy or unmotivated because people don't understand their process. Well, that's because there's people out there that are doing the practical stuff, and it is very valuable. And I've done the practical stuff, and it is valuable. So it's very hard to go, oh, well, no, making a video is valuable. So anyway, we can sit and go in circles this over and over. I really appreciate everybody chilling with me for this long. They often pay public funds through art grants that end up going to drugs. Just drugs just keep coming back into it, hey, Davina. So just be focused, yeah. That's part of it. That it's focused like twice in this diagram, which is very difficult for someone like me. Believe me, I don't support money grabbing channels. You're doing a thing. Continue. Thank you. I shall continue. And Daisy shall continue. And that's all we have for today. I'm just glad I did a stream. It's Tuesday. I'm doing other things like podcasts. I've got to actually be editing a podcast about completely different stuff. It's a podcast about naughty novels. I've got to be doing that. So that's another obligation and things that I didn't even mention as part of this. But yeah, creativity. 2025, the year of creativity, which requires creation, not sitting on your ass and thinking about creation. Okay. Let's save that. Daisy, this is Daisy's favorite toy. The hair tie. Yes, girl. Go get it. See ya, Davina. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Have a nice life. And I don't have an outro. Why? Because I haven't created one yet. See? See? Hope you can see the results of this subtly at work. Have a nice life. Oh, there is an outro. Go and subscribe, you shit.